Oh, let me play my intro. I still have to play the intro. Let's go. It did not play my intro. I'm not sure how to do it.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will reach your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
Hey everyone, my name is EJ, and welcome to our latest football fantasy podcast. We have a good show today. We have Stephen with us. Welcome, Stephen.
Hey.
And Don Rajan. Raji, welcome, Raji.
Hey, how is everybody doing? I'm humble allergy today.
All right. Well. Before we get into anything, let's just make sure everyone's set with our housekeeping concerns. YouTube. If you're not following us, please follow us on YouTube at Footy Fantasy, on Twitter at Footy Ad Fantasy, on Instagram at Fantasy Footy, and you can see our theme music, the information about that. So, okay, I'm going to jump right in. The quarterfinals. Okay, so we just saw the quarterfinals of the World Cup played within the last 3 days. So we'll start with Steven. The biggest winners and the biggest losers. Let's just go from the top. So I'll let you start from the first game, which was what?
Yeah, well, no, I think if we talk about winners and losers, right, the way the games have kind of gone, they've all gone to form, right? So it's the top 4 teams in the world that are in the semi-finals right now. So I think from a winner's perspective, I think FIFA are probably the happiest in terms of they've got their top 4 teams. They've got 4 of the biggest football teams in the world in the semi-finals. So I think it's going to make for a lot of engagement, a lot of people, a lot of interest, which is what they would want. I think the tournament's been a strange one because I think the football itself has been good, but there's so much going on around the tournament because it's in the US and the FIFA scandals or not scandals. It's just been a really interesting tournament because the football itself has been really entertaining, really good, but just everything around it just keeps bringing you back to there's so much politics in the game right now. But no, I think that the games have all been good. I think the top 4 teams in the world are in the semi-final. I think people could have predicted it to this point. So I'm expecting 2 good semi-finals. And if you go by ranking, it should be Argentina, France, but I don't think it's gonna go to ranking myself.
Okay. We'll talk about predictions soon. We'll talk about predictions. Raji, what do you have to add?
I mean, I think you've covered most of the points. I think FIFA will be very happy about this World Cup. Like you said, France, Argentina, Spain, and England are the top 4 teams in the world, and they're the top 4 teams left in the whole tournament. I also think America is benefiting from this because everybody's giving America a second look. But I went into this World Cup a little bit skeptical about how interesting it was going to be and how organized it could really be, the ticket prices and all of that. But we get to watch the World Cup in very filled stadiums all over the Americas. Everybody who went is enjoying and having a good time. And the football itself is very, very good. So I think this is a win for FIFA, irrespective of how you think about it. A win for football because the amount of people talking about football right now has grown exponentially from my doom scrolling on Instagram, people talking about football and whether it's supposed to be soccer or football has increased. But I think that it's generally been an interesting World Cup, and I think the FIFA rankings also benefits from it.
Okay. Yeah. I think, like you guys said, the winners who played, the ones who won the matches, you would have said at the beginning that they would win those matches. Yeah, you could have thought for a second that Norway would beat England, if things had gone their way, maybe. Who else played? Belgium, Spain. Those kinds of games. France, Morocco. No one really thought Morocco. I mean, I wanted Morocco to win, but I didn't think that they were the favorites. I'm just saying that the favorites won their matches.
Mm.
When I made my brackets at the beginning of the tournament, I looked at my final four, and this is exactly my final four, like on either side of the. So basically, these four teams topped their groups and then won every game like they were supposed to. So that's why they're like perfectly in this position. But yeah, great games. I would say the most exciting game was probably England's game. Yesterday was dramatic. I mean, Switzerland, Argentina. That was a dramatic finish towards the end there.
I
But
will
Yeah.
say, I will say that while we've generally have really good games, I haven't seen any game that is as intense as the quarterfinals. Is it quarterfinals between Argentina and Netherlands in the last World Cup? And no game has been as
that
interesting
was the quarters.
as the finals between France and Argentina. So
Oh
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
if
we haven't seen that yet.
we haven't, yeah. So maybe we're gonna get a France Argentina World Cup final, and we may get a replay. But in terms of a good World Cup, yes, I agree. But we haven't seen the heights yet. So
So
Yeah, it's been weird, right? Because I don't think Argentina, like their path to the final or the path so far, they've had jeopardy along the way, right? Like it's been really like even the game yesterday, like it gets to 1-1. I'm like, oh, maybe you go in extra time, penalties again, we'll see what happens. And then obviously the red card completely changes the shape of the game.
yeah.
I think it was again a second yellow. It was stupid of him to dive.
Hmm.
But again, it's just every game for Argentina, they just have this thing about around them right now. Even the Cape Verde, like everything is just like hard. And that just kind of, when you get a team that's just finding a way to kind of just rumble through the tournament. And it's really strange that they're playing England because I think England's doing a very similar thing as well.
yes.
So I think that game is probably going to be one of the most. I expect that to be the exciting game of the two.
Yeah.
Probably kiss of death from my side now,
Yeah.
but I think that one, the England Argentina game, I expect to have that jeopardy just because of how the two teams are playing so far. I think France are they're rolling, like they're just feeling themselves on a different level. And they've got weapons they haven't even used yet. That's the crazy part. So I think France against Spain. I think Spain at the back aren't that great. I think France win that, but I think the England Argentina one could be the one where we get the drama.
The drama.
I agree with you entirely. But I will say that, despite everything, France has faced like some tough teams. And France has
Like
um
who?
I mean, Paraguay was a hard game, to be fair. I think Morocco was a hard game too. They rolled over everybody. To be honest with you. Sweden was a hard game because Sweden just came from a 4-1 victory. What makes it look difficult or easy is the way France plays. I feel like France makes those teams look normal, but when you look at when all those teams play other teams, those um they are much better than when they play France. So France is doing
Okay.
something to kind of stifle their ability to be as dynamic as they need to be. And I think that it's an understatement of how well France is built that actually happens every single time they play France. I think France is the team to watch for this World Cup. I think they're the best team in the World Cup.
They're the most complete side,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. They got weapons they haven't even used yet. Like when Cherky's not playing, Doué's not playing, coming off the bench, like they've got so many weapons, so many options in every position across that team. They're the most complete side at the World Cup, and their front four is the best front four in the world. So I think Spain has been okay, and they control games and they play a very specific way. But I think that forward line for France will hurt them.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I think that game's going to be close, but I see France pipping them. I think the Argentina game, that could be jeopardy, right? Because they're both, England and Argentina both have their weaknesses and their way of playing. And I just think that game's going to have a bit more end to end, a bit more jeopardy in it because it's more personality based. It's like, what's Messi going to do? What's Bellingham going to do? What's Kane going to do? Whereas France, I think I know it's going to be Spain having a lot of the ball, but when France get it, can they hurt them or not?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Let me take this
To
comment real quick.
go on.
This is from Ayo. Ayo says, "Happy Sunday, people. Argentina have rode on Messi's genius and are lucky they got the Arsenal bracket." Now he's referring to Arsenal's side of the draw for the Champions League this season, where we played as the number one team, got the chance to play the weaker opponents technically, and went to the final. So he's saying they're lucky they got that bracket. I'm assuming he means that they would have been kicked out if they were on the other side of the half.
I think the truth about this is like you only benefit from how well you play, and Argentina has played well throughout this whole. If Argentina had lost a few games, they probably would have been on another bracket. So I mean, in the last World Cup, they lost 4-0 to Saudi Arabia in the first game. So if they had done any of that particular prospect, we could be seeing a totally different. The bracket they're in, they earned it. It's circumstantial, but everybody is where they should be, based on the expectations that everybody had before the tournament began. It's circumstantial how they ended up. But yeah, I don't
them, like almost lose to Egypt, right?
Again,
Cape Verde, these people Egypt, almost lost 3 times.
Switzerland,
or not almost lost, but stressed out.
Yeah,
so when he says they're lucky, I do think it's possible that a stronger team. Now we're going to see a relatively stronger team in the next game play Argentina. I think they're the at first in the beginning of the tournament they looked like they would roll over everyone. Actually, did they? Well, Messi was scoring every game, so it just looked like they're going to do something important. But they don't look as strong as they did even in the last tournament.
But the thing about it is Messi is also not scoring all the goals now. Messi is taking a back seat. Alvarez's goal yesterday was what unlocked Switzerland. And what's the name of the guy who's Martinez scores the Lautaro Martinez scores the third goal. Messi is a talisman here and there, but you're not going to say that Bellingham is the reason why England is where they are right now. It's a team sport, and they end up where they are because the team plays the way it is.
And that's cups. That's why I never put too much stock in a team that wins a cup competition, right? Like the best teams win leagues because that's the most consistent over a prolonged period of time. A cup competition, you can play who you get lucky and you get to a final and you get like Crystal Palace winning a cup final. You wouldn't have predicted that in your lifetime, but they got to the final. They play Manchester City. It's a one-off game. It's 50-50. They get a result. They win a cup.
Yeah.
So it's a cup competition. I think Argentina obviously have benefited because of the way that they've landed the draw. They've made those games difficult because every single one of the games they've played in the knockouts has been difficult for them. But that's kind of what I mean. It's like it's a cup competition. They're doing enough to progress and get through. Now it's the top 4 teams in the world. Is it enough to get them into a final? We'll see, right? But this is the top 4 teams in the world. And again, if we want to see, if they get to the final beating England, no one can say that Argentina were lucky to get to the final. Like they got to the final.
I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit. I think the World Cup is a special case because we do have the league before we have the cup.
But the level of that, it depends on your seeding and the draw and who you get in your group, right? Like in Argentina, the teams they played in the group phases, it's not the same as if they had to play. Again, someone mentioned it before that they would love to see the World Cup kind of shift to a similar kind of structure like the Champions League, where you have to play a certain number of games and then you're guaranteed to play one of the top sides in the group phase. Because again, it changes the dynamics a little bit, and it means that the draw that we then get at the end of it is probably a little bit more fair in terms of everybody's played at least one top side somewhere along the line. So I just think the World Cup is still very old in its thinking in that way, where you're playing against non-ranked teams or lower ranked teams in the group phase. Most of the big clubs or the big countries should get out of the group phase. And then it's a luck of a draw. Like you get out, you finish top of your group, you're playing against a third place finishing team as well now in this World Cup. It's just very different versus a cup competition has always got that level of jeopardy about who gets who. And I think they've been lucky.
But I think that there was some jeopardy in this World Cup. I mean, Uruguay got eliminated in the first round. South Korea, who was expected to go to the next level, also got eliminated. There's some people who moved out of this particular of out of the World Cup from the group stages. There are some teams that got out on the set. Germany, who thought
Mhm.
Germany was going to lose to Paraguay. There's some teams that moved out in the second round too. Who thought, there are lots of even Portugal, as good as they were very limited. Who would have thought Colombia would be the group first in the group and Portugal second? There's been some interesting dynamic in this World Cup, even as we expect the top teams to be strong. So even if they seeded them, they still have to go on the football field and prove the seeding.
Of course, but the point I'm making is like for those top sides, there's less jeopardy in the group phase depending on where they land, right? So if you're playing again, if you get Portugal, Colombia was always a tight game.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people disrespected a lot of the African countries, for example, in the group phase as well, in terms of what their capacity is. The level globally is a lot closer than people think now because a lot of these players are playing at the same level.
Yeah.
So most of the players who are at the World Cup, there's very few of them who aren't professional or playing at some level somewhere in the world now, which wasn't the case 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So the games are closer because they're much more organized, they're much more professional in terms of their fitness levels, etc. So you get better games. So it's not about the fact that they shouldn't compete and they shouldn't win. I'm just saying that there's less jeopardy for these top sides. Like Ghana drew with England, in the group phase, England are going to get through it. They should get through and win the group. They did it. And once they got through, now you're in the head-to-head knockout phases. The quality of the players is what's deciding the games for them.
Yeah.
And those small, we're going to talk about it again later, but a lot of the smaller countries, it comes down to quality in certain areas of the field as well. In terms of what decides the games, right? Because all of these teams, the England, the France, the Argentina, they've got that this X factor
Yeah.
in specific areas of the field that's getting them over the line. It's less about fitness and overall quality. The games are all close.
Let me take this comment really quickly. Aya says, I would say the biggest loser or the team that can feel hard done by of the quarterfinals was Switzerland. They should have attacked Argentina from the first half. I think, yeah, true.
I think that is easier said than done. But but I think this is your point is a perfect segue to the third question.
But let's before we jump to the third question, let's just quickly wrap up the second because I think we've
Sure.
hit on the second a lot. So semifinal preview and bold predictions. We kind of previewed the semifinal, so let's just jump in, make bold predictions. What do you guys think? Who's winning France versus Spain?
France.
France. Okay.
France.
Okay.
And I actually think the bold prediction is that could be a high scoring game.
Ooh, high
I
score
think so.
for
I think so
France
too.
on the Spain team that hasn't conceded more than one goal.
I just think it could be a high scoring game. I think both of them have ability to score goals and they're going to play open. So I think it could be a high scoring game.
I think
Okay.
5-3.
5-3.
I wasn't going that high. Maybe like a 3-1, 3-1, I would say.
Is 3-1 high scoring?
For me,
For
in a
Spain,
World Cup that's been this tight with those teams, most of the
nice
games will be
one.
like a 2-1, 3-1.
It was
Okay.
Canada beat Paraguay. Canada beat Paraguay. Is it 6-0 or was it?
It was Qatar,
It was Qatar. Okay, yeah.
and they had a red card. And they
I wouldn't go.
gambled.
I don't think it's going to be that crazy because I don't think the coaches will allow it. But I think a 3-1 to France, I could see.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Spain. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I predicted in my bracket when I made the bracket in June. So I'll stick with it. But I agree that France is the favorite. All right, Argentina, England.
England for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think England have got too many vindictive individuals in their team to lose that game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history with Argentina, and I think it's gonna spur a few of those guys on a bit. Like I can see Bellingham doing a madness again.
Yeah, and I think England needs to realize that Argentina has a lot of history on their side here. Argentina has made 6 semifinals, not lost one. And like you said, there's revenge in the air. England, 3 Lions. I'm going for you. Obviously, I'm going for them for the whole tournament. So obviously, I'm going for them. All right, I'm going to read one more comment. Ooh, hold on. Stephen, the current Champions League does not have that jeopardy either. He's talking about the jeopardy you're referring to. They have about 16 of 24 teams qualifying. In the last 2 seasons of the new Champions League format, there has been no top team who didn't make it.
I think what I'm saying is the head-to-heads.
Okay.
Like, make them play each other. So if you're coming to a World Cup, you want the top sides to play each other more than once.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting the top games in the semi-final. Like, I'm saying, like, if you change the format, you maybe get some of those games earlier. And the difference between the Champions League and that is that everybody just wants to get out of group phase and get into the knockouts. They don't really care about the seeding so much unless it's you're worried about home field advantage, which obviously Arsenal used to their advantage this year. But I think, again, give us more games where you've got them playing head-to-heads earlier. There's not enough big games for me, especially when they're adding more and more teams.
Yes, they're adding more.
It's getting harder and harder to see those big games in the knockouts in the group phase. I mean,
so we had 12 groups this year. Like, I'm not sure exactly how the pots are, and I know I can go watch it, but there was no chance that a France and an Argentina would have been in the same group, right? Because maybe the top 12 are arranged per group, and then you wouldn't have 2 African teams in one group, probably.
Exactly, seeding
goes that
and
way.
then the continental separation. So it
But
just.
we had France and Norway in one group. So how is it because Norway is ranked lower in Europe, and then some groups will have 2 European teams? Okay, so.
Just
And then also the
number.
qualifying, right? And then remember, you had some teams that came in through playoffs.
Oh yes. Okay.
But I think that the seeding is also, they didn't like force any team into like Group A. It was random. So
But
they seeded. They've seeded the top guys, then everybody else got seeded based on all of the other stuff. But I don't think that, anyway. What I'm saying is there's a conspiracy that is like FIFA set this up for Argentina to get. I don't think that is.
No, I don't think that's the case. I just think it's the way the tournament is set. Like, it's always been this way, where you're not gonna get France, Argentina in a group phase, which is real jeopardy. That's what I'm saying. And now that they're talking about expanding it even further, they're talking about 60-something teams. I mean,
I was thinking about that too.
Like, you're not gonna get these games.
No, you just have 32. Get rid of the third place match. I don't like that third person in the group goes through. I don't like that. They should be going home.
I think this World Cup has gone on quite a long period. I didn't realize we were just in the quarterfinals until the game started, because it already felt like we're in the quarterfinals already. This World Cup is long. I mean, FIFA is talking about increasing it again to 60 teams. How is that gonna play out? I mean, that's a question for another World Cup. And at that particular point, if Nigeria doesn't qualify for the World Cup.
All right. Anyway. Dayo's giving us his predictions. Dayo says, thank God for Dayo, because when Dayo speaks, 90% of the time it happens. Okay. Said bold predictions: Spain 3, France 2, England beats Argentina 3-1. Guys, we need Argentina gone, because something always happens with that team. I can't have it. I'm not having it. Ayo says France England final. France Spain 2-1. England Argentina 2-0. Ooh, against your favorite person in the world. Actually, Ayo loves Messi to death, but I think Messi winning the World Cup last time has made him calm. I don't think he needs to win 2 World Cups, which those greedy fans of his, I'm like, really? You need him to win it again? No.
I mean, if he wins it again, he's one of the best players. I mean, he's already one of the best.
He's already going.
Yeah.
That puts it on.
If he wins it again,
I've never seen anything like, we made you the king of football. We ended the discussion, and then he came back, and now he scored 8 goals.
It's gonna be Pele, Messi.
It's Pele level.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no Messi Maradona conversation. It's Pele,
exactly.
Messi.
That's what I'm thinking now. It's like, if he wins it again, then it's Pele, Messi, then whatever.
All right. We'll jump to this topic. I think we're probably going to talk about Messi again when we get to the Golden Boot discussion. But why did the most African nations fade late in crucial knockout matches? All in minute. Someone that was on social media, everyone kind of timed it. It was like minute 86. They will concede a goal. Congo against Belgium. Senegal against, was it Congo against Belgium?
It was Senegal, Belgium, I believe.
Senegal, Belgium. What did Congo do? Congo was England.
Yep.
Egypt was Argentina. Morocco Morocco went to quarterfinals. I'll put Morocco aside. They did what they needed to do to get to quarterfinals. Every other African team that went through, we had 9 teams go through to the round of 16, and all of them except for Morocco fell out. South
I
Africa,
think
all of them.
it's a quality thing in a certain part of the pitch. Like when those games get down to the end, I don't think the African teams at this point have the level of defenders and midfielders that control games. It's they struggle to keep the ball to control the game. Like when it's open in the earlier parts of the game, when it's head to head, they have more ability, more energy, more strength. They can handle the game. But I think when it gets late in the game and you need your defenders and your midfielders to be in control of the game, I just don't think the quality is there yet. I think it could come because I think the African teams have got some young players in some of these positions that in a 4 years time, like I don't think you're going to be messing around with an Ivory Coast midfield in 4 years. I don't think you're going to be messing around with a Moroccan midfield in 4 years. So I just think it's a quality thing, specifically at the back and in midfield, to just control the games and to do the smart things like down the stretch. But I think the experience that they're getting and the level that they're playing at is coming. I don't think it's going to be too soon. Like I think, in particular, Ivory Coast and Morocco, the
Yes.
quality that those two have and the ages of the players that they have and the pipelines that they have, I just think it's a quality thing. I don't think it's a case of concentration. I don't think it's a case of ability. I just think
Okay.
it's experience and composure in those like dying moments
Dying
and an
moments.
absolute quality of defenders and midfielders.
Okay.
I totally agree with you. I think, one of the things that I was saying at the beginning, because people were talking about mentality, I think it was time management.
Yeah.
It's like managing the game at the end game, making sure that you seal everything. I mean, look at what England is doing. What do they
Yeah.
do at the end of the game? They just bring Big Dan Burn in. It's just
Back five.
hitting it's just dominating the game, trying to force the game to an end. And they're playing teams that are experienced in these kinds of scenarios where everybody pushes forward. Because in my mind, I was watching the Egypt game and I was saying, if they can hold on till the point where Argentina is pushing everybody forward, then I think that they can win this game. But immediately they scored the first goal and the manager doesn't change anything,
Yep.
you feel like, all right, this is a recipe for disaster. And I feel like that is the problem. If you watch the Belgium Senegal game too, what happened was the Belgian manager was making changes and the team was changing, but the Senegal was not responding to that. They weren't managing the game correctly to match what was happening. If they had thrown in an additional defender, thrown in a defensive midfielder to stop the balls from going across, then maybe they could have prevented that. But I think this is, like you said, first of all, I want to say, like, it's incredible that we got 9 out of 10 African teams going into the next round. I think it says a lot about how Africa has improved significantly from previous World Cups, where in fact most of the African countries would have been knocked out in the first round, and maybe one or two would go. I think that the African Cup of Nations is a good testament, and I think it's a good testing ground for African teams to continue to get better. But I also think that, like you said, a lot of those things will improve as teams get more experience in big games. Like the next time, I don't think that, I mean, unless you are incompetent, and who knows, this is Africa we're talking about. We could have those problems again. But it's very encouraging.
No, but I look at like the young midfielders like the Boadis, the Christ of the world,
Yeah.
like those midfielders, they're kids right now playing in these massive games, right? And give them 4 years playing at a higher level, and they're not the difference with the African players and the African teams now. You look at the quality of those teams, there's not like one superstar and then the rest of the team is making up numbers. Like they got players across the pitch that are of a decent level. And if you just have, okay, now you're adding superstars to a foundation, it's no different than the bigger countries,
Yes.
right? Like, so I think that's the thing with it's the experience at the back and in midfield. And then again, I know because the African goalkeepers have been for the most part amazing throughout the competition, but that position again for a lot of the African teams, like in tough situations, we gotta have goalkeepers that are gonna be catching corners and
Yeah.
like it's a composure and an ability thing that they're missing in certain positions, but I think it's coming.
Okay. Very good. Great points. All right. Ayo has a comment. He says he agrees with Stephen regarding the late collapse. So composure, experience. So give them 4 more years and see what happens. I think their FAs also have to be like truly invested in making their projects work. Like we've seen a lot of issues, behind the scenes issues. We know Nigeria is always having something behind the scenes.
But my thing is like, why aren't they following the Morocco example?
I was gonna say that Morocco seems like they have their own eggs in the basket. But
Mm-hmm.
Morocco, they're hosting the 2034 World Cup, right?
2030.
30, yeah.
2030 with
Spain and-
England, Spain and Portugal, right?
But they made massive investment in their infrastructure.
Hmm.
They've then and they created like a youth academy that's obviously pulling a lot of players in, that's now exporting those players internationally. And then they've also got this thing now about they're looking for immigrant players as well. So people who are born outside of Morocco,
Yeah.
but have parentage. And if I was the other African countries, everybody should be looking and going, why am I waiting for a call for England when I'm the 5th or 6th in a position, when I know that I could go and play for Ghana or go and play for Nigeria, and I have a chance of, one, the love that you're going to get is on a different level to what you get when you're playing for this England or France or whoever. And the opportunity to play at a World Cup when there's 60 something teams, to your point now, like me, if I have a choice, I'm not playing for England. I'm gonna go play for Nigeria. I'm gonna go play for Senegal or
We
wherever.
try, right? I think Nigeria, Nigeria definitely tries to recruit, but
No,
you
but
can't
you have to
compete.
have the infrastructure. That's what Morocco is different.
And that's where, when I say the FAs need to do their job, it's a corruption thing, basically. Like
Yeah.
people are siphoning money away from these. Like honestly, I can just guarantee that the money that some of these teams are getting from the World Cup, it's going to go to one person first and be pillaged until they get to the.
But which is kind of what I'm saying. It's like following that
never see
example of Morocco, because they have the infrastructure, they're investing in it. The players can see that they're investing. There is
Yeah.
no way
Boom.
Boadi leaves France under 21s and goes and plays a World Cup for Morocco. Like
Right.
it just wouldn't happen.
The interesting thing is, I mean, first of all, Nigeria went up after not qualifying for this World Cup, which is very interesting. We went from 26th to 24th, which is despite not kicking one ball throughout this whole World Cup, which was interesting enough. But I think, to your point, the way they're structuring the new deal that they're giving to Eric Chell, who is the Nigerian football coach, is that they're going to give him a contract to oversee the whole pipeline from the under 23 all the way to the Super Eagles. So previously, they always gave the Nigerian coach a limited visibility into the under 23s. But now what they're trying to do is they've recognized. See, I say this because on paper it's always good.
Exactly.
Sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds nice on paper. But I mean, first of all, Eric Chell is also a very good coach. He's a very good coach.
Okay.
Now he gets to look at the youth and bring them through the pipeline to the Super Eagles. And we have a lot of good youth players that are coming, like Zadok Johanna, who is coming in from leagues in Europe. And he gets the opportunity to embed them into his style of play and bring them up to the Super Eagles. I think so when you talk about Africa, I can't speak to all of Africa because I don't particularly read about, but I know what the Nigerian Federation is trying to do. I don't know if it's going to work, but the underlying idea is good. So let's see what happens in the future for this.
Okay. So yeah, I can't also speak to what other countries are doing, but those are the kind of things you have to do to take football seriously and see your country prosper in the World Cup. See if someone else knows. Okay, and Dayo does something. Many African countries are following that Moroccan template. Like 8 of Congo players were born abroad. Even Nigerian team, more than half of our stars are born abroad. Yeah, it's true. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not a new thing. Like he won't be playing for Nigeria. We know who he is. Like
no, but there's a difference in the recruitment.
Yes, I think that's where you're getting at.
Like the Morocco pipeline, like guys, the team they have now, there are 16 and 17-year-olds that the Dutch Federation are losing their minds over right now because they've committed to play to Morocco
versus
like the Dutch FA are losing their minds because they've developed these kids and they get to like 17, 18 and then no, we're not playing for you, we're playing for Morocco. They've already committed.
Yeah.
So the Morocco team now in 4 years is going to be at a next level again because they've got these other guys that are coming that are top quality players as well. So what I'm saying is like if you talk about what Congo's doing, what Nigeria's doing, it's like the guys at the end
We're
who
doing reject.
haven't.
Yeah. We're
Yes.
accepting rejects. I'm telling you, like the only person who came to us that England was even looking at was Iwobi. If everybody remembers in 2016, Iwobi was kind of shining for Arsenal. England called him and he was immediately coming to Nigeria. It wasn't a question, obviously, because he's JJ's nephew. But like every other person that we've pulled from foreign-born Nigerian,
They're waiting.
they were like, oh, I'm going to try and play for Germany and then work out, go to Nigeria. Like the way Nketiah, we had a discussion about Eddie Nketiah wanting to play for Ghana. Again, rejected by England. He has caps for senior caps for England. But, you know, they didn't pick him. So he wanted to go to Ghana. And Ghana was like, we're not going to be the last. They could have used him. He carried IU and did nothing.
But I think there's a thing.
My point
But
is
I think, but there's an opportunity now based on what's happened with a lot of these African countries and how the teams have been received and how the players have been received, there's an opportunity to show people, hey, this is the type of love and respect you're gonna get playing for the birth nation of your parents or whatever versus playing for the place where you think you were born or you were connected to.
It's going to be hard. Like for other, like when you say Morocco has a system in place and they've had it for a few years, I can see that. And, you know, I think it'll be hard for Nigeria to develop. Like think of Ngumoha, Waneri, these 18, 19, 17, 18, 19-year-olds that are Nigerian. But
that I would be telling, like, Nwaneri needs to play games.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna wait for England to call you up when they've got 15 wingers ahead of you now. But you can come and play for Nigeria now, and you could be at AFCON or you can be at World Cup, next World Cup.
But Nigeria has to prove it's serious.
Yes,
of course.
Nigeria, like
that's my point.
You look at what did Michael B said that Nigerian players are sharing beds in hotels. I mean, I don't mean to disparage the country. I don't mean to do anything like that. I'm just saying that these FAs need to be serious, and if they're not,
especially when the amount of money that I know they're making, right? Like from the sponsorships and all of this 100%. Stuff. Like,
if they're not serious, they're not going to be appealing.
I'll say this: they doubled the coach's wages from $50,000 to $100,000
a day,
a month, I think.
Okay.
No, but you're paying the coach.
But the
and you're paying the technical director, and the players are sharing rooms.
So the 50,000 originally was for the coach, and the coach had to pay for his technical team, right? Hold on, but now the FA is paying 100,000 for the coach, and the FA is paying for the technical team. So there's a more the FA is taking more responsibility on the foundational aspect of it. And I mean, who knows what is going to happen? If this is a future that we can build on, then it might be a good thing. Ultimately, this is the best thing to happen because it's crazy that the coach has to pay for his staff. But now that the FA is doing it, let's see if this is a bed in store. Because the truth about it is, soccer is also, should I say soccer before? Football is also soft power. After the 1994 World Cup, Nigeria became known everywhere. You know, you would travel and people were like, "Oh, JJ Okocha." It's soft power. So you show your skills, and I think that is important for big countries like Nigeria to be able to show that they can be respectable in this sport too.
And football has been huge in Nigeria. It brings the country together. We've known that, right? We won the Olympics, and that was 30 years ago, and we're still talking about
it. Exactly.
The people running sports in Nigeria, this is ION, need to get serious and stop siphoning money. It's simple. They see it as the leaders in that organization think it's a cash
money making scheme.
They put money. Like I'm telling you, like I promise you, whatever 12 million they didn't play in the World Cup, but they had that $12 million that you get for playing the group stages is going to one person first. They take two. The other person only takes four, and until they get to the bottom and no one has any more money left. That's just how they run things there. So until they get serious, like he says here, and like we've been saying, until all these, and I'm sure it's not really different in many of the other FAs.
It's the same. It's all the FAs.
Yeah. So until they all get serious and then take a sport like this seriously that can make you money if you do well, you know, then sure, until then, they're going to fade away in late stages of crucial knockout matches. All right, we'll move on to the next topic, fourth one. And as we move on to that, I want to take this comment. I skipped it over because I felt we were going to come back to it. I was talking about how he supported Argentina in 22. Said, I can't bring myself to do that again, considering everything that goes along with Argentina. He's talking about the nation of Argentina. So I guess his point is he can't support Argentina again, but he supported them last time because Messi's his GOAT. So now we have the most exciting Golden Boot race ever. I think so, because we have people on 8 goals. And we have Haaland is 7th. Obviously, he had 7 goals, but he's gone. Kane and Bellingham now are both on 6. And you have some people on 5. I think Dembele is at 5. I think everyone else is out of the tournament. So
Mbappe.
Oh, so you think Mbappe wins the Golden Boot?
100%.
Okay, right now he's leading, right? Because is it tied? They may both have 2 assists.
Have they got 8 each?
No, yeah, they both have 8. No,
Mbappe has 3 assists.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the assist is the tiebreak right now. Messi has 2. You don't hope what's his name Bellingham just score like 3 more goals. I want Bellingham to win Golden Boot now. I think it's close. Win Golden Boot.
I think player of the tournament, he's already close.
Yeah, that's crazy for him. Okay, so Golden Boot, you think Mbappe, and he edged out last year. Remember, he got 8 goals last year to Messi 7. Okay, Messi missing penalties too.
Both of them missing penalties. Mbappe missing penalties.
Yeah. Well, he would have been on 9.
Mbappe is a player, man. Mbappe is a player. No matter whatever impressions you have of him, the guy is world class. He's a player.
I feel like this is his, like, whenever for 3 World Cups now. Like in 2018, he was the Golden Boy, but he could have been the Golden. I can't remember who won Best Player. Was it Luka Modric? It was someone else that won.
I think
Best
so.
Player of the
Last
year.
one.
Golden Ball, Golden Ball. But he was Golden Boy. He was very good in 2018. It was just spectacular. And then 2022, he came back again. And I feel like everyone who watched the World Cup that didn't watch football understood that Mbappe was special. Like I was like, this guy should be winning Ballon d'Ors. And Messi was just in the way. If Messi didn't win that World Cup, he would have won the Ballon d'Or. I was like, you're in PSG, you're in the way. You just took things away from Mbappe in that moment.
Yeah, Mbappe is just a weird one though, because like from a personality perspective, everybody gives Mbappe a hard time, right? But like generally, this is a question. It's not like, what is the difference between Mbappe's personality and Henry's personality?
Nothing. I don't know.
I think Mbappe is a nicer person than Henry.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think Mbappe is actually a nicer person than Henry.
Weird to me. Like, just people have this thing about Mbappe
Dictator.
because of how he carries himself, but I don't see anything that he does. It's the same thing with Bellingham.
Right.
It's the exact same thing. Like, I look at these guys; they're good at what they do. They're great. They're
very
exceptional, and again, they carry themselves in a way that you just can't. I don't get where the hate comes from.
Yeah,
I think there's an expectation of what a kind of person he should be, and because he doesn't fit that mold, people are offended by it.
But let me ask a question: what personality is Messi? Other than what greatness he does on the field, outside of what he does on the field, in the 90 minutes he goes on the field, what does anyone in this world know about Messi?
Messi has zero personality.
I feel like I've always said this. Messi is autistic, and the only thing he knows is that ball. That's the only thing he knows. What does he? He doesn't do anything. I feel like,
but he doesn't get the same level of hate.
He's a football star.
He can't because he doesn't talk. Like, if you don't talk and you don't have a personality and you don't have, like, I'm not saying he doesn't have a personality in the privacy of his home and within his friends. He clearly does. He has friends and everything. But he's not outspoken. He doesn't, his interviews are generic. But
it's much easier to not be outspoken when you don't have things that you have to be outspoken about.
Exactly.
Like, he comes from a country where there is no drama.
He's not really humble.
Exactly. Like, there's nothing for him
like
to
Conte. You're trying to tell me Conte is humble. I'm like, no, he's quiet. There's a difference.
If you're Mbappe and people are calling you all sorts of rubbish, you're supposed to just be quiet and take it.
Exactly.
Like, he's too smart for that. He's too educated for that.
And I think that's what I was trying to say is, like, people expect him to just take all the criticism, and the fact that he can he can fight back and say what he and he has the platform
And
to
he's
do it.
confident.
Yes, he's very confident, and this is where he and Henry are similar. They're both confident in themselves.
But I don't even think Henry had I wouldn't see Henry for all the years he was at Arsenal standing up for as many issues as even in the way that these guys do it.
No,
like
the need for it wasn't as obvious now, and like social media shines a light on so many things that you kind of have to speak now, or you're just someone who doesn't talk. But yeah,
but I think that Henry faced a lot more criticism in his time that he couldn't stand up for just because social media didn't exist.
No, but I actually think, growing up with him as like he's my goat. Like in the time of being an Arsenal fan, like he's the guy. And I think observing Henry, like he had to deal with things with France, etc. And he was never an outspoken personality. Like he was, people forget, like all that stuff that happened with Evra and that France team and the whole Henry was in that dressing room, huh?
He was.
Like as
it
big
didn't seem like
he
he was
in that dressing room, huh? Like, and was behind the scenes and things were happening and it wasn't him speak, like that couldn't happen with Mbappe.
Yeah.
But so you could say the same thing about Vinicius too. Like Pele went through a lot. They said all sorts of crazy stuff about Pele, but Vinicius, he's outspoken. He doesn't let that kind of thing, like maybe it's just a generational thing. Maybe it's like the new generation, they're not gonna stand for it. Like
I think those guys created the platform for them. Like Pele,
he wants to.
Pele couldn't do a lot of things. Like he grew up in like it was a military regime in Brazil when Pele was playing, right? Like he couldn't. There's certain things you couldn't do. So I understand that, but I'm talking about like the 90s, 2000 players and the personalities that we had. Like someone like a Clarence Seedorf. Like Clarence Seedorf was confident as all get out. No one messed with Clarence Seedorf as a player. But he never put himself in a position where he would let people question his intelligence or his morals or any of that stuff. And I just think these guys get so much abuse for just being themselves and being decent human beings in a lot of instances.
Do you think
it's a democratization of people's opinions? I think that's all there is to it. Like we've moved from the world where even if you were speaking out and you were shouting from your bedroom, nobody could hear you. But now you can just tweet it out.
Yeah.
I mean, his response to the Paraguayan senator was just a tweet, right? And that's that. So they didn't have those facilities. They didn't have.
There's my response. You say anything else, I'll see you in court.
Anyway, end the conversation. Sorry, I kind of shut you up, SJ. I apologize.
No, you're good. Let me read these comments. Mbappe should win the Golden Boot and Olise should win Golden Ball. Oh, if they win the World Cup. I see. Yes. Really? I don't think that will happen.
I don't think Messi will get the goal.
No way. Well,
not playing in the US.
I didn't even read the last sentence. I think FIFA will give Golden Ball to Messi. Of course they would. That one's a fact. Like if Messi, I think Messi has done enough in FIFA's eyes to get the Golden Ball. I don't trust FIFA at all. Now they're in Final Four because they may win the third place match, if they don't win against England. They have a chance to do that. But my point is this Olise Golden Ball. If France wins the World Cup, Olise Golden Ball. No.
He's got the most assists in a tour. I think he's like 2 away.
I don't think Olise. I mean,
it'll be Mbappe. He will just win both.
Olise over Messi that has carried Argentina in many games. Come on. I think
I don't think they rate assists like that. I mean, people.
There's 2 more games. There's 2 more games potentially for France, and depending on how and what he does, like he's 2 assists away from breaking a record at the World Cup.
This is Bruno Fernandes territory now. I don't care about this.
He's playing really. He's influencing that team in a way that people are noticing. So
people are
depending on what happens.
100%. 100%. Dayo's making a comment. Let's read the first one. He says, Raji, that's not shade at Messi. It's the truth. They're talking about his neurodivergence. That's why I'll give it a broader umbrella. The only place Messi comes alive is on the field. What will you say about Kane's personality?
What did he get the impression that I was saying that it was a bad thing? I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I was saying it was.
No, I think you're referring to me because I was like, I just don't want us to diagnose people. But
Fair enough.
yeah, he may be on a spectrum. I think most people are on some kind of spectrum.
I think that's a fair criticism. I agree. Maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't do that. But
Now-
I think the point is that's the only place where he comes alive.
What's
He's a
talking about? What's he
special-
talking about Kane though? Kane, is that positive or negative? Or no, is it what are we saying about Kane? What's wrong with Kane's personality? I think Kane, has
Ken is relatively bland too. But
I mean,
at least Ken
he's
talks. Ken
a
talks.
white guy from, I'm not sure where he's from, but like, what does he have to? He doesn't really have.
White guy from Ireland, as the Irish
The
claim
Irish.
him.
That's hilarious. Okay, Henry was rarely the biggest player in France. Sure, he always had more senior players like Zidane and Deschamps and Blanc. The responsibility and spotlight in France didn't fall on Henry. Like, I don't think we're talking about France's responsibility.
Exactly.
We're talking about other, like, maybe
His
if you want to say race
position.
relations. Yeah. We live in a world where there's an attack on black excellence. Boom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Olise too has this messy personality. They don't like the spotlight. Sure, 100%. Olise has been exceptional, even though numbers are not there to back it. Yes. There's no way Olise wins Golden Ball unless he explodes in the last 2 games. Yeah, he has to do something else. Like,
I think nobody is saying that Olise is not good in this World Cup. I think that we're just saying like that Messi deserves it a little bit more at this particular point. It wouldn't be uncalled for.
I think Olise is on for a Ballon d'Or. I think that's a
Okay.
conversation.
Fair.
I think Olise is definitely in a conversation for a Ballon d'Or this year.
If they win World Cup, you have to put him because he's won.
I think it's him and Kane. Like, it's a conversation between him and Kane right now.
What about Dembele?
Dembele again, like,
I mean, Ballon
You
he has
can't
already
play-
won it.
you can't play
already won it.
400, 600 minutes and win the Ballon d'Or. I can't.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sorry.
He won it
Like-
last year. Let's leave
Yeah.
it
And
alone.
again, the minutes kill me. Like, playing in France, I hear it. He's a top player, but no.
But he's not playing. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he didn't play. But Mbappe is not on a Ballon d'Or track. I mean, he had a great season, but like, I'm
yeah,
seeing-
but
I'm seeing
Real didn't win.
Messi Ballon d'Ors for less. But
But he scored a lot of goals, but Real didn't win.
yes,
I think
If-
Olise,
If he wins the World
Kane.
Cup, he's on the Ballon d'Or track. If
I mean, maybe
Mbappe
like number
wins the World
4.
Cup,
yeah, I think he'll be in the conversation. But I think Olise, if Olise wins the World Cup and wins the league in Germany with the goals and the assists that he had,
Yeah, he won best
I
player
think
in Germany, and
he's got more of a conversation there
okay, fair.
for me.
if Messi wins the World Cup, is he on the Ballon d'Or conversation?
I can't.
But you
No.
know he will be.
I know he will be because
He'll
of
be
the way
number 4.
FIFA and UEFA and everybody else operates, but I just can't.
Nah, I think we should stop degrading Messi's ability.
Who is
man. It's
degrading
No,
him?
no,
I'm-
It's
no.
not. It's not.
Messi is
Have you seen
he's
that
great.
guy, that 40-year-old man, move on that pitch?
He's great.
He doesn't
Messi is
move.
great.
He just walks.
But he's playing.
It works,
he's
but he
playing
just
7-8
everything.
games at a World
Mhm.
Cup, and he's in the MLS. Versus these guys that are playing 60, 70 games, scoring 6, doing what he did in his
Boom.
prime. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not voted for in the Ballon d'Or. He'll still be in the top 7-8 players in the
Yeah,
world,
he'll be top.
even at his age. But you can't compare him to what Kane's doing and Olise is
Yeah.
doing. And I think it's a disrespect to those guys. The name
Yeah.
at some point, it's like Portugal still playing Ronaldo now. Like, he
Boom.
shouldn't be in the team.
Should not.
Like,
I
that's
think-
what
I
I'm
think-
saying. So,
I think that the fact that Messi is still so effective, that he's in the top goal scorer conversation, is one of the reasons why I feel like you cannot dismiss him as well from the top 4. Okay, Messi still has a lot of fans, but let's go.
100%.
No, like we're saying, the reason I agree with you is because I think it would be insane. But I know what FIFA and UEFA and these
he's gonna be in a conversation.
he
for
will
sure.
be if he wins. I think if he wins, they will give him Ballon d'Or. I saw them do it in 2022. He won the World Cup and got Ballon d'Or. The only other thing he did was he was already in MLS by then. He won the league for PSG that summer, and then they did Ballon d'Or to some awkward time of the year.
Yeah.
He was already gone. I'm like, what is this? Not again. If I see Messi win that Ballon d'Or again, I'm not having it. Enough is enough. Thank you for your service. Messi got to save himself a World Cup by playing the MLS, so he should not win the World Cup. Oh, wow. Look at Ayo. And he is, okay, well, as long as you have that, you maintain that. Greatest player of all time. I secretly think there's someone coming after Messi that will be the greatest player. I think he is the greatest player for now. So I call him the GOAT for now. I think there's someone else. Anyone who,
Soccer would have changed by that point, or
and
football.
then
would
that
have
person
changed.
will be the real GOAT.
Yeah.
Anyone who wins the World Cup will win the Ballon d'Or. France wins, Mbappe wins. Argentina wins, Messi. Not again. England wins, Kane wins. England has had a Ballon d'Or winner before, right?
Owen was the
Owen.
last one, I think.
Twice or
which was
once?
nuts. Which was nuts in its own right.
So yeah, it's been a while. They should get one. Even though I think Harry Kane. I'm not going to talk about Harry Kane. Just win the World Cup for me. 3 Lions. All right, last topic: heroes and villains. Heroes and villains of the week. Hero and villain of the week. All right, what do you guys have for hero?
Sir Jude for me.
Or Jude Bellingham.
Sir Jude for me. Like
100%.
when your name is on a list of what's it, Maradona, Pele, and like you're doing madness. Like
And tell us
yeah.
why he's on the list with those people.
The back to back 2 goals in a game. Like only those guys have done it at a World Cup. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a crazy list for him to be on. But again, it's just like his whole personality, his whole demeanor, how he just plays football is just so different than what you're used to seeing.
Yes.
It's just pure determination and passion for the game. It's nuts.
Yes.
So the fact there was even a conversation whether he should be in the team or not, like just typical English media madness. So no, for me, I just think what he's doing is incredible.
Yeah, I'm going to second that real quick. I think he's always around where he needs to be. Like whenever England is in like an attacking phase, and even if the game breaks down, he's somewhere around. Like he's just present. Harry Kane is a deep line striker at this point. And I'm looking at Harry Kane. You look, he's a quarterback. I'm like, you should be up front, but you're back there. And then okay.
You want a comparison for Jude?
Go on.
Go and look at Ruud Gullit when he was younger.
Okay.
Just everything. Ruud Gullit was the same. Like he played centre back, he played in midfield, he played up front. Like they keep talking about Brian Robson.
Yeah.
Brian Robson and Jude Bellingham are not in the same hemisphere as footballers in terms of what they can do on a field. Like, but you go back and watch Gullit as a kid, and you watch Gullit when he was younger. The guy literally played centre back, midfield, and forward. Like he could play anywhere. And Jude's exactly the same.
Good. Yeah, 2 goals at the Azteca that game. I don't think they talked about the Azteca last podcast because I think it was played on Sunday after we already filmed the podcast. But that game to me was the most. I always call it war of attrition. Like these games are just like so tough. But that one was the one where we were down to 10 men, and he scores 2 goals. It's like how. And
yeah, 2 big goals in that stadium with all of the pressure. And...
yeah, when the altitude, I was like, attitude, I don't care. Find a way. And they hadn't lost in 13 years. Just I think this team, I like the way they're suffering together. Let me put it that way. They have.
Start watching Arsenal.
I know. They have the ability to pull. Like they're hard to beat. Someone said that. Like they're just nearly impossible to beat. So that's going to be their selling point going forward. But Jude is at the heart of that. They want to make it Harry Kane, but it's Jude Bellingham. And I remember tweeting when I think he was unfit, right? His shoulder he had an injury. So he wasn't being called up for some of these games that they were playing. And then maybe he was called up and then he wasn't. And then they did say that there was like friction between him and Tuchel. But ultimately, I was like, I remember tweeting if Tuchel, because I actually liked Tuchel for this kind of job. I didn't like him when he was at Chelsea. I didn't think he's a special coach, but I know like when it comes to cup competitions, he knows how to like find a way. I was like, okay, this is what England needs. I didn't like Southgate. I didn't think Southgate was effective as a coach. Ultimately, like overall, he could do a job, but he was too timid. He was too defensive, and he placated I don't know. He played around and like trying to like pigeonhole, put people in different positions that didn't work. Like Foden was always there. He tried to build the team around Foden. Foden wasn't doing anything important, and he was always playing. I didn't like it. But either way, I was like, Tuchel won't do that. He won't take nonsense. And one of the things that looked like he wasn't taking was that he wasn't taking Jude Bellingham's attitude. And I was like, I don't care about what you think about Jude Bellingham. I had to play that kid, bring him to the World Cup. So I'm happy he came. I'm happy he's showing everyone that this is not a joke. Okay, I am saying same thing. Jude Bellingham is him, not him adjacent, not him opposite. He is him. And he should have won Ballon d'Or in 2024. That's my final argument. Raji, go on.
No, I mean, you guys have said it all. I don't need to say much more about this particular aspect of it.
And Aya saying loved him from his time at Dortmund. Aya is also a Dortmund fan. I was terrified when Liverpool almost signed him. I didn't know that was an option.
At some point, he's got to come back to England.
Yeah. Do you think he'll ever come to Arsenal?
Boy, if we got money, so if we start paying 400, 500 grand a week, we could get the top boys again, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%. Gullit was the only player I've seen that played multiple positions like a specialist. Nice. What about Villian?
I'm trying to stay away from FIFA on this one. I think maybe Mbolo with the nonsense second yellow.
Okay.
I think that cost Switzerland. I think Switzerland got themselves in the game. I think they were looking good, and then he did that and kind of cost them an opportunity there. And then obviously all the crying and stuff on the pitch, but you knew what you did. So
yeah, the referee could have been nicer, but I think I get it that once the referee gave the Argentina person a yellow card, it was probably nothing else he could do.
Exactly. He gave the ref a problem. Like he had to once they got called over and he went and looked, there was no way he was gonna get away from a second. It wasn't like it was a straight red, it was a second yellow card.
Exactly.
So I just think that was stupid of him. And again, he had possession of the ball as well. So I just think that was just stupid in that circumstance, in that position in the game.
I think for me, it probably is. I was going to go with Mbolo, but I'm going to go with the officiating. Not necessarily because the officiating has been terrible, but there are some things that fuels the conspiracy. Like the ball hitting the pole yesterday, which led to the England goal. It was clear and obvious. Yeah, the what do you call it? The what did you say it was?
It was a
Sky
cable.
camera.
The cable. He hit the cable.
Yeah.
And the trajectory of the ball changed entirely. Visibly, you can see it change, and it dropped for Anthony Gordon. I felt like that was, especially given the fact that one of the teams, because of they said that the ball trajectory changed because he hit the player's hair, and they could sense that. They could sense that, but the whole ball must have shaken when it hit that cable and fell down straight. The whole trajectory changed, and the fact that you couldn't tell that is a testament to how this conspiracy continues to grow. I feel like they could have reviewed that in VAR. They could have figured out a way to make sure that this game, even if England won in the end, it wasn't under this cloud. So I feel like they need to do more. They need to do more, basically.
So, I mean, at the end, the commentator said it didn't touch the cable.
It did touch the cable.
It clearly touched the cable, but they said the sensor in the
ball
ball
did not. Yeah,
so
they said it didn't
within the ball.
But again, that's not believable because
I know.
like if the ball hits someone's hair and the sensor goes off and it hits a cable, however many feet in the air, like no one's buying that. So
and the whole direction of the ball changed entirely. It was the
ball literally died. It hit the thing and then came straight down to
straight down. Yeah. So it's weird.
But again, I just think the thing with some of these decisions as well, though, is like you talk about like small margins and circumstances. I thought Haaland has spoken well throughout the whole tournament. Like I think he's done a good job for his own PR the whole tournament.
Absolutely.
But I think after the game, when he was talking about small margins, like the ball comes down, it falls to Anderson. He then passes it to Gordon. Gordon then passes it inside to Bellingham. Bellingham takes 3 touches and scores. Like all of these things are happening in all of these games, and it's small margins. Like even against Mexico, that was a foul on Kane. Like no one's gonna tell me that wasn't a foul on the halfway line on Kane when Mexico scored. Like so
they said
all of these things are just like with the conspiracy theory. I know it's there, but I just think it's small margins that we have to deal with as football fans. And now that we have all these cameras and all these VAR checks and all these mechanisms around the game is that we end up debating that versus
The
the
game
skill
itself.
and the phases
Yeah.
of what we're watching. Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, the disallowed goal that Egypt scored
Oh,
was the biggest mistake they made was that they were too good at it.
it
Because
was
if
one of
at
the best
any
goals of the tournament.
yeah, if at any point an Argentinian player had gotten control of the ball and then an Egyptian player had gotten control after the Argentinian player got it, the game it would have stood.
So,
It
Yep.
was just the fact that no Argentinian player was able to
touch the
touch the
ball.
ball
Yeah.
until they got to the end. So it's
But
like when you talk about fine margins, that's
yeah.
fine margins. Yeah.
But if you listen to what they say, right, they talk about phases of play. Look at the
Mhm.
gap between when that happened for the guy to win the challenge, turn the ball over, the guy beats 2 or 3 players, then he
Yep.
passes it. Like all of those phases, look how many chances Argentina had to win the ball back before the ball ends up in the back of the net.
Yep.
Yes, it was a foul. But if the referee on the field isn't giving that and you're
Yes.
going back all the way there to stop the game,
Yeah.
like
I couldn't stand by that one.
it's just again it's the consistency but as football fans we have to deal with it now. It's that
Yes.
it takes a bit of the element of the joy out of the game because you're worried more about these little things versus the skill, because that goal from Bellingham is nuts. Like the touches he took, like the first touch was amazing, the second touch to come across the defender, like we're not talking about that, we're talking about the fact the ball hit a cable. Like again it's the facts, but it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. All right. I want to read
So
this comment. Oh, go on.
go on. I was going to talk about the goal that happened in AFCON between Nigeria and I think it was Algeria, where there was a free kick in the team were playing got a free kick in that box, but the game went on and Nigeria ended up scoring a goal. And at the end of it, we scored the goal, but then VAR took over and they took that goal, disallowed it. It was against South Africa, I believe, and gave South Africa the penalty during the African Cup of Nations. So this is something that has happened in the African Cup of Nations, where there was a corner kick, Nigeria player hit the South African player, but the phase of play continues. It goes all the way to the end. Osimhen does a tap in. There's a big celebration. Nigeria is leading the game. And then all of a sudden they do a VAR check, disallow the Nigerian goal, penalty South Africa. And yeah, it's happened before. So when it happened against Egypt, it's something that I've experienced. Yeah. So
all right, I'm going to read this last comment. Aya says there's only one villain. This is also my villain, the Paraguayan woman senator for being violently racist. Like out of nowhere. Like if you guys remember, like if you're just seeing social media and then boom, there's one lengthy comment about this woman just talking. And her issue was that Mbappe didn't shake someone's hand, I believe, on the Paraguayan's team.
The goalkeeper.
So, okay, after France played Paraguay, everyone was upset with Paraguay because of, was it dark arts? I'm not sure.
Harambo.
Boom. Their tactics were unappealing to the French, and they were fouling a lot, and then they finished the game with no yellow cards. And, it was just like cynicism throughout their entire play. So, of course, the French players were like, there's like,
But it wasn't even that. The goalkeeper threw the ball at Mbappe during the game. So there was an incident where he was arguing with someone and the goalkeeper comes and throws the ball at Mbappe. So Mbappe obviously had issue with him already because of that. But all of that, it was irrelevant based on what she was saying. Like
absolutely
everything that she was saying,
everything she said was,
it doesn't even matter about football.
And just pure like Aya has it right. It's like violently racist. Like that's the word. Like imagine you're sitting out in your house and someone starts questioning your heritage, or not questioning your heritage, calling out your heritage, implying that's inferior, and then saying that you're not really French, and everything that Mbappe has heard hundreds of times, but then now denigrating an entire continent while doing that. And afterwards, her backtrack was, "I'm not racist, but I stand by what I say." Blah 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 blah. Then she gets attacked and says, "I was hacked." Like she actually claims she was hacked, but this is my generation. We call people black people. Blah, 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 blah. Like she was crazy. And
Yeah,
they're not done with her yet. Like I was on Twitter going off. I go off on Twitter, by the way. On Instagram, you guys think I'm nice. On Twitter, I'm crazy. Like, no, I go off on everyone that makes me angry on Twitter. And I wasn't like, I was just like annoyed. That's the word. I get annoyed easily by these nonsense comments. Like, so it was so stupid. And she got all the hate from her own people, even though her own people they built an effigy and tried to burn it and called it Mbappe. Those people are crazy. They're also racist. Like, I'm not surprised,
Again,
but
yeah.
it's so stupid and annoying that's like, why does this keep happening? And Mbappe is supposed to sit down and be like, no, of course he's speaking. So I was credit to him for speaking out, and then his president Macron I knew Macron would defend, would speak up. Everyone defended him, so that was good. But like, they need to attack that woman. Like, she should not have a job. She should descend into squalor. By squalor, I mean poverty. She should be shunned from society. All of that. Like, this is crazy.
Doesn't she live in an environment that allows it, that accepts
Exactly.
it?
Yeah, but
so
this woman's a senator. She's been voted in. Like, look at the madness Trump says on a daily basis. Like,
jeez.
These people are like,
they're encouraged.
Yes.
And I think the problem with social media is no matter how ridiculous you are right now, you're still going to have fans.
Yeah, there'll be a subsection.
Yeah, that will always be there to support you. So you can
And
be a superstar. Yeah.
As long as they know they're racist. These people think they're being purists. I'm not sure what they think they're doing. But like, it's completely racist people. And this is like out of nowhere, poster child for racism. Like, this is how I grew up. Man, shut up.
I just can't. And again, these people have these jobs, right? And that's what we should be paying attention to. It's like the positions of power that these people are in with these opinions.
Boom.
Like, I don't mind. Let them be openly racist, because I want to know who you are.
I want to know who's who.
Like, let me know who you are. Like, we can handle it from there, but let me know who you are. Don't be pretending. Yeah, this is who you are. We know.
Yeah. Fair. All right, I think we've come to the end of our podcast. So it's coming home, guys. Go watch the game on Wednesday. I'm not sure what's going to happen on Tuesday, but see you guys next week.
Sounds good. Ciao.
See ya.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go